Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Poetry in the PM. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys had a good weekend and got some rest. I want to start, as I start every time, by thanking all of our healthcare workers, everybody working in a hospital right now, doctors, nurses, anyone who's working in a hospital right now. We love you. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. It's kind of hard to imagine when this all started how long this would take and maybe how much more longer it will take. It's getting pretty nuts. I hope this is all over soon, and I hope that everybody can, to the best of their abilities, respect to stay inside so we don't keep infecting people. So I hope you guys are taking the necessary precautions. I hope your families are well, your families are healthy and safe. Today I'm very excited. I have Stefania Spampinato on the show, which I'm so excited about. Stefania came to us and was such a gift on Grey's Anatomy. I think they realized that it was sort of hard for me to speak Italian for no reason on the show, and they decided to create a sister character for me so that we would be able to have these amazing scenes where we could just discourse in Italian, and so they created Stefania's character, Carina, which ended up being one of my favorite characters and someone who I admire very much and have had such an amazing time working with over the years. Not to mention she's Italian, so we have a lot of connections there. We enjoy speaking Italian on set and maintaining that culture. She always helps me so much if I'm pronouncing something wrong or when we have to create Italian for the show. We'll often work on it together to make it the best way it can possibly be, as the writers don't speak Italian, so we kind of got to fill in those blanks. And I've been talking on the show a lot about how I'm a big fan of music, and that poetry essentially is words written to be spoken, and that so many songs, lyrics have are poetry, and so many songs are able to be featured on this thing. And I have so many friends who are musicians as well, so we've been talking a long time also with other guests that we should start maybe incorporating some songs to reading some song lyrics. And luckily, Stefania today has done the job for me. So without further ado, I'm going to bring her on. We're going to have a quick chat, and we're going to read the song/poem that she brought on today. So let's see if I can get her on here.
Eccolo!
Eccola!
Come stai?
Sorellina, come stai?
Bene,
Ti
bene,
vedo
tu come
bene.
stai? Anche io ti vedo
Ok, un
bene.
bacio. Ciao. Okay, so how have you been? Tell us about how are you?
I've been good. I've been good. I've been trying to stay home and actually enjoying staying home and doing a ton of housework.
Good.
And yes, with my puppy, and I've been listening to a ton of music. That's why also I feel like when you brought up the poetry, I have this old Italian music playlist that it's my go-to, especially when I do things at home and they remind me of
Oh,
my
you'll have to send it
mom.
to me,
Yes, I'm
and then
gonna.
maybe we can post it here so other people can listen to it too.
Yeah.
Is
I
it
don't know
like
how
on
to do it.
Spotify or
It's on
something?
Spotify, yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. But I'll make sure that I post it, that I share it because it's very fun.
Good.
And I feel like I'm a huge fan of Domenico Modugno. He's the guy that wrote Nel blu dipinto di blu, Volare
Very
for the
famous
world.
voice. As soon as you hear his voice, you're like, oh, it's like very famous.
Exactly. And his lyrics are amazing. And I've
Yeah.
been looking at the backstories behind the songs, and a lot of them have a sad beginning, and then they're more positive. And I thought this one was like a good reminder for everyone to go to and see how beautiful everything, like the world can be, even in the dark moments, even in the sad moments. There's still so much to
Yeah.
look forward to in life. And I thought that would be a good
I
reminder
hadn't
for
heard this
everyone.
song in a long time, and I listened to it again this morning, and actually found a video on YouTube of him actually singing it in black and white on
Wow.
Rai. It was
Yes.
just so beautiful.
Yeah.
And like you said, yeah, it's just like, it's universal, it's
Mhm.
timeless, it's a
Mhm.
message that will never ever grow old
Yeah.
or out of date.
Exactly.
You know, and like you said, in these times, I think it's definitely a great perspective to take, that even in the darkest times, there's always something to look forward to, and that life is still beautiful. There's still
Hmm.
so much beauty to see in our world. So
Yeah.
you did a great job. You picked an amazing,
Thank you,
brava,
thank
yes.
you. Grazie.
Okay. So, do you want to get right into it? Do you want to read it?
Well, I suck at reading poetry, so I'm gonna do it very lightly because this is my problem. If I read and I get into it, I end up crying, and so I don't want to cry today because I want to stay positive and happy. Yeah,
Okay.
I get very
Hey, I mean,
emotional.
feelings are welcomed here on Poetry
I
Museum.
know, but I'm talking about positivity and the beauty of life, and then I'm gonna
Uh,
be like,
it's okay. If you gotta shed a tear, we can just pause, or I can
okay.
take over, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Okay, okay. Am I
If you're
gonna
like
do it on my
Giacomo,
own?
you continue, I can't, then we'll do that.
Ma mi aiuti tu o la leggo da sola?
Cosa?
Mi aiuti tu o la leggo da sola? Cioè
Leggi da sola.
alterniamo? La leggo da sola? Ok, va
Sì.
bene, va
Però se
bene.
non ce la fai, continuo io. Va
Continui tu,
bene?
va bene.
Sì,
Ok,
sì.
hai giudicato. I want to do a little bit, un pochino di preambolo in
Oh,
italiano
ok.
e in inglese.
Bene.
Perché questa praticamente è una canzone su parla di questa persona che sta per buttarsi da un ponte e a un certo punto c'è questa figura che arriva da dietro, quasi come se fosse come dice qua, quasi come fosse un angelo custode, che gli ricorda, appunto, che gli fa tutte queste domande per ricordargli quanto sia bella la vita, quanto di meraviglioso c'è nella vita. Ok, I'm gonna go. È vero, credetemi, è accaduto di notte su di un ponte, guardando l'acqua scura con la dannata voglia di fare un tuffo giù. D'un tratto qualcuno alle mie spalle, forse un angelo vestito da passante, mi porto via dicendomi così. See, I'm crying already.
It's okay.
Meraviglioso, ma come non ti accorgi? Ah. Ah. Jeff, help. Come here, Jeff, help me out.
Yes.
Ma come non ti accorgi di quanto she's coming.
There we go.
Il mondo sia meraviglioso. Meraviglioso perfino il tuo dolore. Potrà apparire poi meraviglioso. Ah! Ma guarda intorno a te che doni ti hanno fatto, ti hanno inventato il mare. Tu dici non ho niente, ma ti sembra niente il sole, la vita, l'amore. Ah, meraviglioso.
Meraviglioso.
Vai, il bene di una donna che ama solo te.
Meraviglioso, la luce di un mattino, l'abbraccio di un amico, il viso di un bambino. Meraviglioso, meraviglioso.
Ma guarda intorno a te che doni ti hanno fatto. Ti hanno inventato il mare. Tu dici non ho niente, ma ti sembra niente il sole, ti sembra niente la vita, l'amore.
Meraviglioso. La notte era finita e ti sentivo ancora, sapore della vita. Meraviglioso, meraviglioso, meraviglioso.
Meraviglioso!
Meraviglioso!
I
We did it!
tried. I tried. I mean, you helped. Thank you
We did it!
for the help. It was
So
Jeff.
penso che quello non era tutta la canzone in italiano, ma era un bel po'. Mi sa,
Io
no?
credo siano le liriche principali e poi credo si ripeta,
See,
però
so I'm saying I don't think that was the full song, but it was a
no.
good chunk of it
Strong.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
in this translation, it has here the translation. So Domenico Modugno's song is called "Meraviglioso," which I think is marvelous, not
Yeah.
wonderful.
I think it's more closer to marvelous as well.
Because it's like meraviglioso is sort of like an extension of a word called meraviglia, something that is a
Sì.
meraviglia, which is like a marvel, something to
Yes.
marvel at.
Yeah.
So marvelous is sort of like
Yeah.
our extension of a marvel.
Right.
And it's not as good as the Italian word, as always. Meraviglioso is such a
It never
beautiful
is.
word to
Yeah.
say. It's like this like slide you get to like ride on. It's amazing.
It just
But
fills you up also. It's like, yes, it's
yes, it's like a
maravilloso.
release to say the word
Yeah.
meraviglioso. So I'm going to substitute the word wonderful with marvelous.
Okay.
Um,
I support that.
okay, great. Me l'appoggi. Okay, so I'm going to try the English version of this
Yeah.
song slash poem.
Beautiful.
Okay, it's true. Believe me, this happened at night, above a bridge, staring at the dark water, with the damn desire of jumping off. Suddenly, someone at my back, maybe an angel disguised as a passerby, pulled me back, telling me this. Marvelous. How come you don't remember how much the world is marvelous? Marvelous. Even your pain may look a little marvelous. Just look around you. How many gifts you've been given. For you have been invented, for you has been invented the sea. You say you have nothing. It seems nothing for you. The sun, life, love, marvelous. The love of a woman that loves only you, marvelous. The light of a morning, the embrace of a friend, the sight of a child, marvelous, marvelous, marvelous. Just look around you, how many gifts you've been given. For you has been invented the sea. You say you have nothing. Does it seem nothing to you? The sun, life, love,
Yeah.
marvelous. The love of a woman that loves only you. The night had ended, and I still could feel you. The taste of life, marvelous.
Beautiful.
So of course, in this poem, it's quite dramatic. You know, the
Yeah.
song starts as a man is literally thinking of jumping off of a bridge into water, and this voice from wherever um, pulls him back. But I think at the end of the day, you know, we all need little reminders here and there, whether it's a friend telling us, um, you know, a parent,
Yeah.
a coworker, an experience that you have that maybe just makes you realize something. And certainly this experience of this pandemic, I
Yes.
think has definitely made us really realize how lucky we are to be alive, how lucky we are to be able to sort of be free and be able to roam around in nature, and how much we take that for granted now that we've been sort of locked inside.
Yeah, and to be able to see our friends, our families, is just interact with other people.
Yeah,
I mean, it would have been a lot harder if we were in 1999 without the phone and the technology that we have now. But
yeah,
still, you realize how important is human connection and human contact.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or like in the 1900s, I would have had to like written you a letter saying, "Hey, Stefania, do you want to be on my poetry show?" We have
Two
wait like
months
a week, and
later.
you would get the letter, and then you'd be like, "Oh, okay," and then you would write me back, and then you would mail it, and then a week later, I would get the thing, and then it'd be like a
Yeah,
month before we had like a response.
exactly.
It's taken so much longer,
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, we're
but
lucky it's happening now. I mean, it happened before, but at least it's happening now to
I think
us.
even in the song, one of the things that he mentions about like how beautiful life is, or like the simple things, like the embrace of a friend, and it's like,
Yeah,
how many
that's
friends would
gonna
you
be
love
true.
to embrace right now?
Oh my
You know what I
God,
mean? It's
yes.
like even like I've seen some friends, but I haven't embraced them.
No, it's all
You know
from
what
a
I mean?
distance. Yeah. Yeah,
I
and
had
your
a friend
family.
the
You
other
have
day drop
family.
off something in front of my house, and we
Yeah,
chatted for a couple of minutes, but we were far from each other, and he was in his car, and it's really nice just to kind of
yeah,
see each other and
yeah,
talk, not over a phone. But I
yeah.
did want to just kind of give him a hug, and I
Hug,
missed that experience. You know what I mean?
for sure.
Um,
For sure. And as I was saying, like your family is between Canada and Italy. My family is all in Italy also. That's hard. This will be the time where we would have gone and see them.
definitely.
And yeah, it'd probably be a
And
little
your
one
family
harder.
is all good in
Thankfully, yeah, so far so good in Sicily.
and
They're
are they all in Catania in Sicily?
they're all in Sicily, yeah, between Catania, Modica, yeah, but they're all
Okay.
there. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
How about your family? All good?
They're good. I mean, it seems like slowly, maybe it's not all of Italy, but where my family is just outside of Rome, that they're slowly
Opening
starting
up
to
slowly, yeah.
reopen certain sectors, not everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've been in quarantine longer than us, and I'm already going pretty crazy. So I can't imagine. You know, my family's pretty fed up for sure.
Yeah, for
They're
sure.
smart. They know it's the right thing to do, but at the same
Yeah.
time, it's not like you have to love
Get
it.
us out of
You know
here,
what I mean?
yeah.
And as you know, like in Italy, at least in Rome, like we have a very kind of apartment building
Yeah.
complex. You know, what we would call a house, they would call an apartment, you know what I mean? Or what,
Yeah.
sorry, what they would call a house, we would call an apartment
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
here. Like the idea of actual like homes that are like,
With the garden, yeah.
yeah, like nobody really has those. You know, everybody
Yeah.
just lives in apartment buildings or like condos, I guess you would call.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of tighter spaces.
Yeah,
Well,
for
you know,
sure.
in Italy, a lot of families, large families, you know, husband, wife, and 2 or 3 kids. They live in very small apartments,
Basics.
so
Yeah.
it can be very difficult
Yeah.
to have sanity or alone time or me
To
time.
maintain it,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
That does so well. So
For sure.
I feel for them in that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I have friends that cannot wait. And also I think their stay home restrictions were a little tougher than ours. Um, but yeah, for sure, like the apartment situation made it a lot harder. I read something about people bringing their dogs for walks 20 times a day in order
Yeah,
to get out of the
yeah,
house. And I feel like, if anything, the creativity of the Italians is what came out during these hard times, and their like
absolutely.
joy for life. And I love that the first thing that they did was like getting out on the balconies and sing and play
Seeing
instruments.
the videos from Italy and all the things that they've done, it's like it's made me
Yeah.
so proud to be
Yeah.
from there. Honestly, like just such great pride that like in these times they've, like you said, the creativity that Italians have is like
Yeah.
unparalleled. It's so their
Yeah.
attitude and what they come up with. I saw this video of like people passing out, like they were running strings from their balconies
And
and
passing
then like
coffee.
passing each other like oil and wine,
I
and
love
they're like,
that.
you know, it was
That's
like,
adorable. I also saw these two older gentlemen putting wood boards between their two balconies and then putting a tablecloth and
yeah,
having
yeah, so
lunch
they could eat
together.
together.
Yeah.
It's
I
amazing.
thought it was
Oh,
adorable.
I know, because
So
it's like
cute.
that's us. Like we miss that human connection. We miss that
Yeah.
ability to just, you know, be with other people. It really is tough. That's
Yeah.
even something you take for granted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just seeing other people and being social. I think
For
I'm a
sure.
little bit of a homebody, a little kind of antisocial, if I'm going to be very honest. Um, but being in this quarantine, I didn't even realize that the little contact I was having in my
Was
social life, how much I
important.
needed it.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
even just going to work and like
Yeah.
seeing you and like other, you know, coworkers and friends for the day, and like I didn't
Yeah.
realize how much that was filling me up.
Yeah.
And you know,
Yeah, it's
it's like
pretty.
oxygen, it's like air, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I definitely feel starved of a lot of those things.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I miss working, which I'm sure you can relate to.
Oh my God,
You
yes,
know, just working,
for
like
sure.
being creative and doing the thing that we love to do.
Yeah.
It's hard not to do that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
And it's also, we're very lucky because it's such a good environment, and you go to work with the smile on your face. So definitely, yeah, missing that so much. Everyone, I was messaging with the makeup with Dory, and I was like, I miss you, Dory. Where are you?
oh my God,
It's
amazing.
so good. Yeah.
Yeah, because like for other artists, it's like if you're a painter or you play the guitar, you're a drummer, it's like you can do that at home. You can paint, like you can
Yeah.
play your guitar and practice. It's not the same as like maybe playing on a show, but like you
Right.
can kind of practice your instrument. But for us, it's like
In front of
I
the
can't really
mirror.
practice. I can't really like do my job. It's so different. It's such a different art form, you know?
No, no, I tend to be dramatic in front of Jeff, in front of my dog. I talk to
Okay.
her a lot as well,
Yeah.
but not sure it's serving any purpose.
It's a she?
Yeah, Jeff is a girl. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You got a new puppy as well.
I did, yes.
So cute.
Yes, yeah. We'll have
Just
to have a doggy
Gianniotti.
date when this is all over,
Yes,
and they can be
absolutely.
friends.
Exactly. I would love that.
Yeah, he needs a girlfriend for sure.
Oh,
He's
she's single.
he's a little. She's single. Okay, good. So he's yeah, he's single too.
Okay, good.
We made a little dog connection.
Exactly.
Let's go to the comments and see if anybody. Do you guys have any questions for Stefania or I about like the song or about anything? Anything you want to say to us? Ma non potete parlare in italiano? Ok,
Sì,
adesso un po' e
esatto.
parliamo italiano.
Non entiendo una verga, però la Sam. I think I said a swear word in Spanish. But, mia nipote, ciao Vittoria.
Shondaland, hello.
Ciao, people.
Belli che siete, grazie.
Stefania, love from Brazil. Oh,
Fratelli d'Italia.
Can you please say the name of the artist that wrote the song? It's Domenico Modugno, but I'll make sure that I attach a link to the playlist, to the Italian playlist. I don't know if I can do it now. Maybe I'll do it after. Allora,
Avete scelto la canzone più bella in assoluto.
grazie.
Oh, great. Well, l'ha scelto Stefania, non io.
Ma still. Siete l'orgoglio italiano. Oh.
Meraviglioso. And like, come stava dicendo Stefania, like Stefania was saying, Domenico Modugno is a very famous Italian singer, probably one of the most famous Italian singers that kind of translated and came to America. Like his music is sort of the famous Italian music that came to America.
Yeah.
So you guys would definitely recognize if you look him up and start listening to the songs.
Yeah.
Like Volare, which is like huge.
Another poetry. I would almost pick that one because also the lyrics of that song are incredible, but I wanted to do something a little less obvious maybe for an Italian. Wow, so many different flags from Brazil, Spain.
Sicilia, saluto dalla Sicilia.
Yay,
from Sicily.
Also, Domenico Modugno ha scritto un sacco di canzoni in dialetto siciliano, so he was very close to Sicily and he wrote a lot in dialect, in Sicilian dialect.
Okay.
Yeah. There is a song called Lupisci Spada that is super dramatic, but I love that song. It speaks about like these two swordfish made for life. I didn't know that. And in Italy, in Sicily, we eat a lot of swordfish, and so this is the whole story of like, yeah. But it's
io mi ricordo un'estate in Sicilia, a un posto che si chiama Roccalumera.
Madonna, come
e
no?
c'aveva la mamma di un'amica mia, ha fatto gli involtini di pesce spada. Io ancora mi ricordo il sapore.
Sogni la notte. Oppure la pasta coi ricci, l'hai mai mangiata?
Sì, mamma mia.
Madonna.
We're talking about food, obviously.
Yes.
Stefania was saying that swordfish is very big in her specific region of Italy, in Sicily. We eat a lot of swordfish. And I remember I spent one summer there and I had these involtini. They're like rolled swordfish on a skewer, and they were like grilled. So amazing. So good. If you love seafood, you got to go to Sicily.
Yeah.
So good.
For that, it is pretty great. Pretty epic.
Brazil, sempre tanto Brazil.
Danimarca. Do we get the same?
E le melanzane imbuttunate.
Sì, le melanzane le mangiamo tanto anche in Sicilia e tutto. C'è la pasta alla norma, le polpette di melanzane, tutto.
Ecco.
Sono di Trapani. In provincia di Trapani c'è questa spiaggia che si chiama San Vito Lo Capo, che è una delle spiagge più belle di tutta la Sicilia. Sabbia bianca, mare che sembra una piscina. Mamma mia, che meraviglia. Perù, Roma.
Dai, Roma.
Insegnami italiano. Cala boca Giacomo. there's this thing that in Portuguese that I want, when you learn something in a new language, it's always the bad stuff that you
Of
learn
course.
first.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, so I was doing a live with Danielle, and we were talking about the sentences that we have learned in different languages. And I was trying to remember this thing that I learned in Portuguese that I learned in Brazil, and I said it, and yeah, the Brazilian fans of the show appreciated it. They thought it was very funny.
Oh, yeah. They've tried to get me to say some things, but some of the words are so hard to pronounce. Like when you
It's
read it,
hard.
quando lo leggi, è
Sì.
difficile sapere come pronunciare, to
La
pronounce
R,
it
la T,
properly.
sì, ci sono tante regole che sono molto
Tipo la
diverse.
X o
Sì.
diverse...
Sì, perché non è una lingua
non-
fonetica come l'italiano.
No, no.
You know?
Yeah, so what Stefania just said is like Italian is very phonetic. And
Yeah.
so although it's, maybe a difficult language to learn, being so phonetic, it's easy in the sense of like you pronounce every letter. And so there's there's not a lot of tricks to confuse you. Once you kind of understand the basic principles, you can kind of pick it up, the pronunciation at least, pretty quickly. Whereas like as an Italian coming to learning English, there's so many obstacles and there's so many tricks that you have to learn, and so many, this letter's silent and this letter, and it's like
The simplest
and there's no
thing.
explanation why either. You just
No.
have to say, well, this is it. And
It's
just
written in
accept
a
it.
way and pronounced completely. Like even the word tired. Why is tired? It should be tired. This is why you say tired. This is how it's spelled.
Yeah. That's like
It
how
becomes
anybody
tired.
in my family would say it.
Exactly. And for me, it was so hard at the beginning. It was like, what? Why?
The biggest one for me, which is so funny because it's not an Italian word,
Mm-hmm.
but the way Italians say it makes me laugh. And every time I go back, if I don't say it like this, they don't understand what I'm saying, is hamburger. If I say, hey, do you guys want to go for a hamburger? They'd be like, what? Oh, hamburger. And they're like, oh, hamburger, yeah. But that's how they say it, which is so weird.
That's so funny. It's so true. It's the same word for the pronunciation. Like my parents, when I was with American friends home, and they were like, we know a lot of American actors, and they were like, okay, who? Kirk Douglas. And they were like, who? Kirk Douglas. They couldn't understand Kirk Douglas or Eddie Murphy. Or
Eddie Murphy, see.
Burt Lancaster. We laughed for 40 minutes trying to figure out who they were.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It's cute. And
it's amazing. The pronunciations are amazing.
Yeah.
It's basically like my dad, just growing up, like listening to my dad pronounce everything was amazing.
Yeah. It's especially for you because you grew up with the two, like speaking both of them and with the right accent. So it must have been so interesting. Wow.
How long have you been in America, Stefania?
For 9 years now.
9 years.
Yeah. But before America, I was in London for a bit. That's where I learned English.
Oh, I wanted to say, I saw you in the Ford versus Ferrari. It was so cool to see you in that.
Thank you.
You did great. Yeah. And it was like
Thank
cool that they had like this Italian little role in there for you. And
yes.
I'm sure you had fun.
Yeah, it was. It was a lot of fun.
Very cool.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's a great story. Great. I love the movie.
So compelling. I didn't know what it was going to be like, but I really enjoyed the whole movie. It was, and oh my God, Christian Bale, Matt Damon. So good. Quando torni in Sicilia, presto spero, quando posso. They stopped.
They're asking when Stefania will come back to Sicily.
Spero presto.
Saluti da Trapani.
Da Trapani, ciao Giacomo e Stefania da Roma. Parlate un po' in italiano. What is this flag? Okay, I'm so ignorant. Cile, Puglia, bella la Puglia. Parliamo un po' in italiano. Ciao Brasile. Valeu Brasil.
Ma tu sei ancora su Station 19?
Io?
Sì.
Sì, ma abbiamo già finito di girare. Questa è una domanda tua o che hai letto?
No, 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 lo so che avete finito di girare, ma cioè, le vostre puntate vanno ancora in onda?
Sì, 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 vanno ancora in onda, credo ce ne siano altre due o tre
Altre due o tre?
per la fine della
Che
stagione.
ci sei tu?
Sì,
Ah, bene.
non credo sia uno spoiler, però sì, credo si possa dire. No,
Ah,
vabbè, tanto nei crediti c'è.
okay. Well,
Sì,
we'll
sì.
just say maybe.
Maybe, maybe, maybe.
So maybe if you watch Station 19, because Grey's Anatomy,
Exactly.
unfortunately, is over,
Maybe.
you can maybe see Stefania.
Maybe. Exactly.
If you're dying to see Stefania and you just cannot wait, then go to Station 19 on Thursdays and you can maybe see her.
Grazie, fratello, maybe.
And yeah,
Dico,
what are some what are some things that like has been going on in your mind during this time, or like things that you've thought a lot about, or maybe realized or learned, or you know?
well, I feel like I've been pretty lazy, if I have to be honest. Like, I've enjoyed doing a lot of manual stuff. I've been painting and cooking a lot and taking my dog for long walks and listening to a lot of podcasts. I listen to all the podcasts that I can get access to. But and I've been watching a bunch of movies. I feel like I don't know. I think I told you this before, but I've been getting more intrigued to the idea of directing. So I've been watching TV shows and movies with a different eye, trying to learn, trying to look at the shots,
Great,
and yeah, which has been
great,
a lot of fun. Yeah, and I shadowed Paris in on the last episode of Station 19,
great. He's
and
fantastic.
oh my God, he's incredible.
He's fantastic.
He's such a like landmark of the directing, TV directing. He knows so much and he's so charming and
Yeah,
so
he cares a
calm.
lot too. He really
Yeah,
cares. You know,
yeah,
he's when you join the Directors Guild, there's a
yeah.
mandatory course you have to take, and he taught mine,
Oh,
and
amazing.
he was just so passionate about
Amazing.
it, and was like, you know, does a good living, doesn't need to be there, doesn't need to be doing that, and the fact that he cares about like
Yeah,
teaching new up and coming students who are wanting to direct.
yeah,
That's so cool. Like I love
yeah,
that, the sort of essence of giving back and sharing your gifts and remembering when you were a young director starting and you
pay
didn't know a
forward.
lot and you were scared and intimidated by this like extremely challenging career, and
Yeah,
it was really empowering. And I thought that like the course would be more about very technical things
yeah,
like your shot lists and your
yeah,
angles and your
yeah,
lenses and stuff like that, but really it was much more about maintaining the integrity of what a
yeah,
director should be on a
yeah,
set. So it's about being
yeah.
kind, being
Hmm.
positive,
Hmm.
allowing people to do their jobs,
Yeah,
learning everybody's names and calling them by their
yeah.
names,
He was great at
how
that,
to
all of
gain real
that.
respect on a set so that all those people bust their ass to make you
Yeah,
look like a rock star. Because
yeah,
it can go both ways, and you've seen it
for
before,
sure.
and we all have.
Yeah,
When you don't respect your crew, they
director
can
or
turn on
creative.
you
Yeah.
very quickly and make you have a
And
very bad day.
we can do nothing without them because yes, you are the director, you have the vision, but the crew is who makes it happen, who makes it come to life. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I also he's incredible at talking to actors. Have you ever been directed by him?
Hmm.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed it. Like for me, it really switched the scene for me personally. Gave
Hmm.
me a very small specific note, but it was right on point, and I was like, oh, okay, amazing, and it's so good. I loved
Yeah.
collaborating with the director.
Did you ever watch the show Sons of Anarchy?
I did, I
Oh,
did.
okay. Because
Yeah,
he
I also
directed a lot of those.
he also directed In Treatment on HBO. That is a show
Mm.
that I really love. It's about these therapy sessions. It's very like cool show.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it,
Okay,
go
cool.
for it.
Very cool.
I'm also watching The Sopranos these days because I've never seen it.
That's so funny you mentioned that. I was thinking about starting it from the beginning and watching it again because I watched it like when it came out and everything, you know what I mean? But
Nice.
I was thinking of going back and rewatching it with Nicole because that's just
Yeah.
like an amazing show.
So good. I've never seen it before. It's the first time that I'm watching and I'm like, wow.
Those therapy sessions are great scenes.
Exactly. Exactly. So good. And James
Yeah,
Gandolfini is so good.
I
Amazing
know.
to watch.
Gone too soon. James Gandolfini, gone
I
too soon.
know. I know.
Amazing, amazing.
Amazing.
Um, Stefania, when was the last time you heard Foro?
Forró. Forró, this is one of the words that you pronounce it with like an H. Forró is
Forró?
like a dance style, a Brazilian dance style that is so cool. You have to do it with Nicole. You're like attached to one another in dancing, and it's very sensual, but it's also fun. And I heard it a couple of nights ago. I have a Brazilian playlist, and I had this forró dance, and I was dancing with Jeff.
I love it. I love it. And that's Brazilian.
Brazilian, yeah.
Okay.
One of my best friends is Brazilian, so I've been there, and yeah, I love Brazilian culture and movies and actors. I'm obsessed with Wagner Moura. Do you
Oh,
know the guy that did Narcos?
you hear that, Brazil? She's obsessed with one of your actors.
I'm obsessed with Wagner Moura. I love him.
I did see Narcos, but I saw the like the original Narcos. I know they did like a new one that was like Mexico or something like that. I haven't
No,
seen
the
that.
original. He's in the original. He plays Pablo
Oh.
Escobar in the original.
Oh yes, he's
Yeah,
incredible.
he's so
Oh,
good.
he's so good. He's
So
so
good.
good.
Yeah,
He's in
yeah.
like a new movie on Netflix I want to check out where
I
he's like a
saw it,
political
Sergio. I
figure.
didn't like that movie. I watched it for him, but unfortunately, I didn't like it as much.
Okay, well now I might not watch it.
But have you seen City of God? No,
Of course.
Elite Squad, Tropa de Elite. Elite Squad is like the sequel of City of God, and he's the leader. He's the lead actor in that one too. He plays a boppy, like an agent.
I just love that, like the imagination of that studio and that casting director to say like, wow, Pablo Escobar, you know what I mean? Like iconic Colombian person. And it was so important to them to get an actor that really embodied that character, that they actually didn't mind going to another culture to get him.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that, you know, I remember when FX, I think it was, did the Versace's.
Yeah.
At first I was mad because they picked all Latinos to play Italians, and I was like, why? It's like almost like it was done on purpose.
We are here. We exist.
Like we're right
exactly.
here. Stefania, we're right here. Why
Exactly.
didn't you but at the end of the day, it's like, you know, the job goes to the person who does the best job. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
I think Edgar Ramirez, at least, I liked his work in it. I thought he did a good job. And but I just think it opens the possibilities to a lot of actors to say like, you know, I'm Italian, but Spanish is very easily accessible to me, and I would love to play a Spanish speaking character, and it would be a lot of hard work for me, like it was a lot of hard work for that Brazilian actor who did not speak Spanish. He had to do a lot of really hard work.
Yeah.
Not only are you speaking Spanish, but it's Colombian. It's like a different accent as well. So I got a lot of respect for him because of the work he had to put in. He was working at a big handicap, big disadvantage.
Yeah, for sure.
But he could do it because he's a Latin language speaker, and he knew how to access those sounds.
Exactly. Yeah, and I feel like also for certain, I was talking to an Irish actress, and she was like, if I had to wait for an Irish role to come out, I would work once every 10 years. So unfortunately, we have to be versatile, and sometimes it sucks that for the general American public, foreign is just foreign, but it's also a blessing for us. We can play any foreign character, I guess, rather than just Italian or just Colombian or just Brazilian. So
definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. Was there anything else you wanna say, or you wanna let people know about, or I don't know?
No, I think I'm okay. How long are you gonna keep doing this for? This is so fun. I love that you started this.
I just do it Monday to Friday, and yeah, it's fun. I miss you. I miss my friends. So it's nice to connect with you guys in this way because we can't actually see each other.
Right.
So
exactly.
that's a big part of it. And I just like sharing different cultures and stuff to remind us that we're
Beautiful.
all together, we're all similar. The things in the song that you brought are all universal concepts that anybody, no matter where you are on the planet, could relate to. And so
Nice.
it's about oneness, you know? We're
Yep.
all, no matter where you are in the world, we have these common things. I think a lot of poetry talks about life.
Yeah.
And so when we read poetry from different cultures, we realize how similar we are to each other and not how
Yeah.
different we are from each other. So
Exactly.
I like that about poetry.
So nice. So nice. I'm so glad you did this. So glad you invited me. I'm so glad to see your pacha. I feel like it's been so
I
long.
know. You too. I miss you. I hope you're doing
Me
well.
too. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
Thank you.
goodbye, Stefania. Goodbye, Jeff.
Goodbye. Say goodbye to Nicole
Um,
and to
love
Jazz.
you guys. Be
Same.
well, be safe, and I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Thank you so much, Giacomo.
Okay.
Grazie mille. Un abbraccio.
Ciao, Stefania.
Ciao. Ciao. Ciao.